we are so good and so capable of managing and taking care of our house, our kids, our house, our husbands, whatever. And yet, why don't we do that for ourselves? Why can't we prioritize and make time for ourselves? Like, that's ridiculous. If we're so capable of doing it for everyone else, why not us? And I think what's one thing we fail to realize that that's actually the number one most important thing to do if you really want to show up in the way that not only you deserve, but they deserve. It's.
Yes.
And so that's kind of my journey, and that's where I'm going. That's what I want to help other women find, to discover for themselves, and just have that support, because trying to figure all this out on your own, trying to do this on your own is so daunting. It's so sad. It's so lonely, and it doesn't have to be that way. And I just know that I don't want anyone else to have to go through that if I can help it.
Join me. 'Cause I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine. Oh, oh, oh. I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine. Welcome to Seeking Sunshine. Do what lights you up. A podcast for passionate, creative moms who are ready to live their best life and be their full, lit up selves while being amazing moms, because it's possible to be both. It turns out that you don't have to lose yourself in motherhood, and I'm here to show you how. This is Seeking Sunshine 2.0, because we are no longer focusing on the problems, but on the solutions. It's your turn to shine. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Seeking Sunshine podcast. It is a beautiful fall day, and guess what? It's actually a very, very special day. Today is my 15th anniversary, and so I wanted to say that it's been an amazing 15 years with my husband, and a rather miraculous 15 years at that. It's pretty amazing that we have made it this far, that we have been able to stay together, because, life and marriage, they come with a lot of up and downs, and we have definitely experienced a lot of, it's been quite a journey getting us this far. So yay us, we made it 15 years. My husband's amazing. I'm so glad that I've stuck it out with him, because we're doing better than ever. So yay, Jacob, thank you for sticking with me this whole time. So today we have such an amazing guest. I know I say that every week, but I have adored podcasting because I get to meet the most incredible women, and today's guest is no exception. Mary Dibble is such a beautiful soul, and in this episode we get to talk about the importance of showing up for ourselves, and how coaching and mindset work can be really life-changing, and then the power of taking action towards the life that you want to live. Mary Dibble is a proud wife and mother to 3 incredible kids, 2 sons and a beautiful daughter, and she's on a mission to help moms unlock their full potential and thrive in every aspect of life. She wears a lot of hats, like so many of us do, but the one that really sets her heart on fire is her role as a life purpose and goal success master life coach. She's so cool, guys. She's got years of experience under her belt, and she's witnessed countless transformations in the lives of hardworking mothers struggling to find themselves after self-sacrificing for most of their lives. Doesn't that sound like you and I and all of us? She's the host of the Radiant Mom Rising podcast, and her passion is empowering you to dream bigger, embrace your unique purpose, and rediscover the authentic, radiant you. This is such a good conversation, and I know that you are going to You're going to find so much gold in it. I hope that if you love it as much as I do, that you will share it with someone that you know is sacrificing a lot as a mom and needs to learn how incredible she is and how much better of a mom she can be if she would, learn how to love herself more. I think that's a message we all need to hear. I needed to hear it, and Mary talks about how she needed to hear it. It's such a good message. And before we dive into this interview, I want to remind you that we only have a couple more days left of my Black Friday sale. I'm extending it to this Friday, a week from last Black Friday, where you can get half off of the one-to-one podcast coaching program, which this will probably be the last time that I ever offer one-to-one podcast coaching. It is really an amazing opportunity to be led through the entire process of starting your own podcast one-to-one. That's not offered anywhere, where every time that you get overwhelmed with the process, I'm there to help you every single step of the way. Every time something gets overwhelming, that is my superpower, is to break it down and show you how manageable it is and show you that you can totally do it. So right now, just for this Black Friday sale, it is half off plus a major bonus. I'm offering a free 1-minute custom song to go with your show that, seriously, it's a really, really great bonus, and I probably should not be offering that, but I am offering that if you pay in full for this coaching program, which, you'll have your podcast up and running in under 2 months, and you'll see how, you will learn how to make it fun and easy. The highlight of your week will be getting your podcast out, and you will see how this can be totally sustainable and how to leave a legacy for your family, for your kids, and how sharing your story can completely change other people's lives. So that's my little pitch for that. It's my favorite thing that I do, and I'm so genuinely thrilled to be sharing it with you. So anyway, on to Mary Dibble. She's amazing. I'm so excited you get to hear this interview. Welcome, Mary. Hi, Mary. I'm so excited to have you today on the Seeking Sunshine podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. I am so excited to dive into your story and your business and your experience with motherhood. So let's do that. Tell me about what you are passionate about, first of all.
Well, I'm very passionate about helping hardworking moms. As a hardworking mom myself, I know how much of a struggle it is trying to carry the weight of the world, it feels like, on your shoulders, trying to do it all. But you also get so lost in who you are because of it. You fall into all these roles as a mom, as a wife, as an employee, even as an entrepreneur, if you decide to go that way, to where you kind of lose a sense of your individuality. You lose, just what am I meant for? And so I have been on this incredible journey ever since I got into life coaching that has helped teach me so much about the values of self-love and self-worth and discovering your purpose and living life with purpose. And that's kind of what's led me to want to help others because, like I said, I get it. It's not easy trying to juggle it all, but there is a way that you can, and it not be so hard and not be so stressful and overwhelming and burnt out. And so, learning all that I have, I had to give back. I want to give back. And I love to see us women supporting one another, encouraging each other, and just growing together. I think that's such a beautiful way to live and to be.
I love that so much. And it's so easy to lose ourselves in motherhood. It's we have all these dreams when we're, in high school and college, and we're taught what do you want to be when you grow up? And then it's you become a mom and you're oh, I clean and I cook. And all those ambitions just sort of fizzle out. And you're
Yeah.
wait a minute, where did I go? I've spent my whole life being taught to dream and be something. And now I'm not that. Where did I go?
It does. It becomes like they become your only priority. And it's like I've learned that no, don't get me wrong, kids of course need us and we have to be there, but that shouldn't be your only priority. And I think one of the things that I've learned is that we are so good and so capable of managing and taking care of our house, our kids, our house, our husbands, whatever. And yet, why don't we do that for ourselves? Why can't we prioritize and make time for ourselves? Like, that's ridiculous. If we're so capable of doing it for everyone else, why not us? And I think what's one thing we fail to realize that that's actually the number one most important thing to do if you really want to show up in the way that not only you deserve, but they deserve. It's.
Yes.
And so that's kind of my journey. And that's where I'm going. That's what I want to help other women find to discover for themselves and just have that support because trying to figure all this out on your own, trying to do this on your own is so daunting. It's so sad. It's so lonely. And it doesn't have to be that way. And I just know that I don't want anyone else to have to go through that if I can help it.
Yeah, I so agree. So tell us a little bit about what your journey has looked like. Like, how old are your kids? How did you
Yeah.
end up falling into this? Because I know for a lot of us, it's like it started with the burnout, and then we were like, wait, I have to get out of this because this is not sustainable. So tell us about your
Yes.
journey.
So I got pregnant when I was 19 years old. So before that, I had had a heck of a journey of drug addiction, unfortunately, that I had suffered through, and it was kind of back and forth with. But when I got pregnant at 19, the guy I got pregnant by at the time, I was working in a restaurant business. I was a waitress, and he pretty much left me because I wouldn't have an abortion. And about a week later, even started dating a girl we worked with. So pretty much my entire
Wow.
pregnancy, I had to work with him and his new girlfriend. And boy, did they love rubbing that in my face. It was a
Oh
very
no.
challenging, yeah, it was a very hard experience. Whew, but God is good. Things happen. I have to admit, I had some good friendships during that time of people who really supported, encouraged me, and helped me through that time. Because again, that's what helps is that support system that you find during those seasons, during those times. But it was still a challenge. And when I gave birth to my first son, I was 20 years old, and boy, did that just change everything for me. I never knew love like that before. I never wanted kids, first of all. So this was a whole new experience for me, something I never wanted, but it was exactly what I needed. And it really did help me to realize that there is so much more to life than you know, all this negativity and suffering that I had experienced for so long in my life. And I just I made that decision to sober up completely. And I did. I stopped everything cold turkey and just lived my life for him. And that was kind of the problem and in itself to a point too, because don't get me wrong, I love being a mom. I put him first. I was living my life for him, but at the same time, I was not giving myself the opportunity to figure out, well, who am I outside of that? So, as the years passed, kind of I went to actually into banking at first and learned a lot about financials and things like that. It wasn't until I ended up meeting my very first life coach that I realized what I was lacking, which was self love. Never really thought of it. Honestly, didn't really understand what that was or what that meant. It's just something I felt like was just like a fleeting word, like, nothing important. But when I realized the importance of showing up for myself, really loving who I am, and at the time I was like so ready to find my soulmate, but I had had so many past failed relationships and things like that that I just felt like I didn't know if it was actually really going to be possible for me. She taught me a lot about becoming the woman that I would want to be for my husband.
Mm.
Even though he may not be here right now, you still got to show up as if you have it, like it's there and things like that. So I didn't know how to feel about that at the time, but I was like, what do I have to lose, right? So I did it, and I started really working on me and focusing on myself and doing things I love. I started doing Zumba, taking care of myself, things like that, and all while still being a mom, still loving my son and everything. And lo and behold, about a year later, I decided to try out Match.com. even though I kind of was hesitant about that whole experience with the app, and the online dating,
Yeah.
I just figured, hey, what could it hurt? Let me learn more about myself and what it is that I am really looking for in a man, and just kind of have an experience. And
Well, and when you have this mindset of like
yeah,
everything is working for me
yeah,
and just everything that I experience is going to help me grow, it's like nothing is wrong. Nothing goes wrong. I'm just here to learn and grow. That is such a mindset shift that will change everything.
it really does. And so I kind of did that. I had the intentions of just learning with it, and lo and behold, it led me to my husband to this day. So it was awesome, and we ended up having we got married about 3 years later. When now we have two kids. So I have a daughter who's 4 and a son who's 2 with him, and he also adopted my very first son as well. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it's been a great journey, and like I said, even with that, okay, even having kids later on in life, like again, I kind of lost myself because it became all about them, and I wasn't even able to feel like I was able to enjoy like my marriage, because we just kind of went bam bam right into the kids after getting married, and it was a lot. And I always worked full time, so it was just like nonstop. I felt like I didn't really have that breaks, and it was overwhelming. And so again, I finally got connected again with a life coach who helped me again to realize some of my limiting beliefs, some of the things about myself that I have been carrying on as a pattern. I think the whole subconscious programming is what's really gotten to me more than anything, is like, didn't realize how I was affected so much just from my childhood and the things that have just been, instilled in me, that it's not even really a part of who I am or who I want to be, but it's just there because of what I was exposed to. So I've been doing a lot of work on me, and it's been an amazing journey, because now I feel like I am truly showing up as not just the wife, but the mom that my kids deserve, that I want to be, where, there's those times where you catch yourself yelling and frustrated and ready to just rip your hair out or just run away or just be done with it because you can't handle it, to being able to like pause, breathe in certain moments, and just see it differently, understand it for the blessing that it is, and for the amazing, like you say, lessons that they are, rather than feeling like you're being attacked or feeling like everything's just,
Yes.
crazy.
I well, and it's just as a perspective that like I feel like we never talk about like feeling attacked by your own kids. And it's just like when the screaming and the yelling and the fighting is all just happening and you're just like want to shrink into it's that fight or flight response and you're just like I just want to run away. I'm feeling and it's not like your kids are actually like trying to hurt you or trying to attack you, but it's literally your nervous system just shuts down. And I've started to recognize that because I've had such great coaching and such great mentors, which I'm totally coming back to this, but it's like when you learn about yourself, it changes your whole life. And it's like, I'm feeling attacked. Oh my gosh, my whole body is reacting because I'm feeling attacked. And guess what? I have the power to do something about it. I can do something about it. If I recognize it, number 1, then I can, number 2, take a step back. I can go hide in my room for
Yeah.
5 minutes. My kids will be okay while I breathe and I just like let my energy breathe and I can just be like, I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'm safe. The screaming and the energy and all the wildness of the kiddos, like they're just doing their thing. I don't
Hmm.
have to feel overwhelmed
Exactly.
by it. I'm safe. And like I wanted to come back to like because I know that you're a life coach and I'm also a life coach. And it's we are doing this because we've witnessed and embodied how powerful it is to
Yes.
have somebody hold your hand
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
show you these tools, right? Of guess what? Like you're safe. Like just to have somebody like come to you and be like, everything's gonna be okay. You're safe. It's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay if you're feeling overwhelmed when your kids are screaming. Let me show you how you can handle that and be okay. And here's a better way to handle it next time. Like, and that's just been like your story. Like you've shown it over and over and over again how powerful that is.
It is. It's so true. And then, with what you're saying as well, it's like of having someone holding your hand, but also being that cheerleader for you, being that support for you because you're right, we don't talk about these things. We feel like it's almost shameful. Like we have to have it all together. We got to have this perfect life. We have to have everything figured out or else people are going to judge us or we're going to look weak or whatever. And that's so bull. Like it's so opposite of what life really is. We're all feeling this way. We are all experiencing these. And it's so nice to finally start talking about this and realize it's
Yeah.
okay. It's normal. You're not a bad mom because you are get frustrated with your kids because you feel overwhelmed by things. But there are ways that can help you to not suffer through it, to not
Mm-hmm.
stay in that place. And that's what we want to help you with. We want to help you because we got to help ourselves. And that's the thing. We're so scared today. I feel like people maybe they see it as a sign of weakness to ask for help when that's exactly what you need. And it's the best thing you can do for yourself. It was the best decision I ever made was it was going in these programs, getting connected with coaches who to help me to uncover things about myself that I was just blinded to.
Oh, hands down.
Oh,
Best thing. Like personal
mhm.
development, personal growth. I know it's like
Yeah.
overstated, but it's like literally the best thing you can do for yourself. But guess what? It's also the best thing you can do for your kids. Because when they have a calmer, happier mom, they have a better childhood. Like they
Yes.
don't deserve to have the mom who's always frustrated and burnt out and bitter. They should
Yeah.
get the mom who's happy with her life. They should get the mom who's patient, who has these tools.
Yeah. And just like with animals, you know how they talk about how they feed off your energy? Well, it's kind of like that with your kids too. I mean, they do feed off your energy. So when you're frustrated and stressed and whatever, they feel that. And that only carries out the situation and makes it even more chaotic and more stressful than it should be. And except when, because I notice the difference from like moments where I do take that time to breathe and then I come back to a situation and I
Oh
just
yeah.
talk to my kids rather than snipping or yelling, in my natural reaction and the way I used to be. It makes such a difference. And like you say, it is such an impact on your children. That is a huge part of this. We've
Yeah.
got to stand up as moms and do this for their sakes because that whole from the ages of 0 to 7 and the programming that you instill in your children that is on you. And that's so important that you show up for yourself because you're that role model for your kids and teaching them that for themselves, and you're helping to give them that permission to be okay with their feelings, to be okay with expressing themselves, to not feel shameful because what we may think that why are you getting upset about that? I don't understand why that bothers you. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know what it's like in their shoes because you're not 2 or 3 years old. So it's easy for us to be like, why are you acting this way? But we don't realize that they are just experiencing something for the first time. They're
Yeah.
just new to this experience, and we just have to come with them with empathy and love and understanding to the best of our abilities and not make them feel wrong for it. But
Yeah.
yes, just try to get them to understand so we can understand and we can have that impact on each other to show love and support in those times instead of getting upset and frustrated like we tend to.
Yeah. Well, and what's more is like then we in turn get to teach them these tools. Like we get to foster this environment of self-growth and self-awareness. Like self-awareness is so key.
Yep.
We are coming from these generations of people who had no idea how important it was to be aware of how we're feeling and of how we're being in our own bodies, and we just wrote off everything that was happening inside of us and bottled it down every time, and then it would show up, and it does in us. We can see it. It's like we get sick and we have tension all over our body, and it's like, wait a minute, you actually have power over that. You have the ability to release that and to let it go and to let it just be and flow right through you. And when you realize how much power you have in your life, like you're not just a powerless peon, right? You are such a powerful
Mm-hmm.
queen. And
Yes.
when you can teach that to your kids, Like, that's the most incredible thing that you can teach them. It's, like,
Yes.
so much more important than, like, math and
Yeah.
all the other things that they learn in school. It's like, teach them how powerful they are.
Yes.
Teach them how incredible they are, and that's I don't to me, that's just, like, the most
Of course
important
it
thing, and
is. It's the most valuable thing you can do for your kids. Teaching them to love themselves, to know their worth at a young age, that would have saved me from so much suffering and so many bad decisions had I really grown up knowing what it meant to love who I was, accepting myself for who I am, and not feeling like I have to be someone I'm not in order to be accepted or to be loved.
Yes.
That's such a big part of, and it's so sad because we're seeing it more and more with the youth of getting so lost. And even in today's world, it's gotten even crazier, the things that are being pushed on them and, shoved down their throats. And so it's important as a parent who they look up to the most that you teach them that they are amazing for being just who they are and love them, love themselves, accept themselves. I mean, that is such a important part, I feel like, of what I want to teach moms is just because it starts with you. It always starts with you. And that's the thing. And everything we do will affect them, will, impact how they grow up and what they take into their adulthood.
Yes, it's like you are their anchor
Yeah.
in this, and it's like social media has taken the world by storm, and you have to be their anchor of self-worth when the winds of social media and the change that technology is constantly bringing about, like
Yeah.
nothing is staying the same. There's a new iPhone every 2 weeks. Like there's the
Right?
new right? There's a new social platform constantly, and it's like nothing is staying the same in their world. When we just had COVID, right? It's like everything is topsy-turvy. Everything is in constant commotion in their worlds, and that's what they're growing up in. They need you to be their anchor in this crazy life to assure them of their strength and of their power. And if you aren't an anchor to yourself first, then how can you be an anchor to them?
Yeah.
It's official. Podcast Like a Mother is here. This is my podcast coaching program where I lead you one-to-one through the entire process of building your own podcast. I will guide you every single step of the way as you figure out what topic you want to talk about, what lights you up, and how to do the entire process beginning to end. I'm going to show you every single thing that I know, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to show you how to make podcasting fun and easy and sustainable. If you want to schedule a breakthrough call with me to see if this is the right next step for you, check out the link in the show notes.
So those women out there who crave to find their soulmates or want to find love or whatnot, well, if you don't love yourself, then how can you expect anybody else to come in and love you the way you want them to? You've got to do the work on you first, and then the stuff will happen for you. Then you'll attract the right stuff. I mean, because like you say, when you make that decision to focus on you, to work on yourself, to do that, things happen. You really do attract the right kind of people. You have more power than you realize over the outcome of your own life. And I think that's something we don't believe a lot of times these days. We think that we're just handed the cards we're dealt. We just got to make the best of it. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
you don't. It's this whole idea that only this 1% or these lucky few are the ones who get to have the success, who get to be rich, who get to have everything, their dreams come true. It's so delusional. And I don't know if that's
And
like
they're
this.
not even happy.
Oh, I know, right? Oh my God. That was one of the biggest things that used to that kind of was like such a revelation for me as I got older. I grew up envying and dreaming of all these celebrities and all these things that I wanted to be. And it's like most of those people are on drugs. They're crazy. They are so because they had to live such a fake life for so long. Where what I love about what we do, we get to be authentic. We get to be real. We get to show up each and every day, tapping more and more into who we are while also
Yes.
impacting and helping those to do the same so they can have the successful life that they deserve.
Yeah.
That's success to me. That's
Yeah.
a beautiful way to live.
Yeah, but well, and I'd be remiss if I didn't maybe edit what I had said before. Like my anchor, and I don't know if you're religious, but like my anchor is my God. Like knowing where I'm firmly planted and finding that within myself,
Yeah.
and like not worrying about what the rest of the world says and what the rest of other people's religions are, and where that is, like
Yeah.
being able to find that divinity and feeling that spirit just for myself, and being able to know that God loves me how I am, exactly how I am. Like that's where that is most important, and like being able to teach that to my kids, like that they can feel that for themselves whenever they need to. Like that's where the anchor is in the storm of the craziness of life. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm fickle, and like my energy levels will go out. Like one day I will be like, I am unworthy, I am the worst. I have days where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't feel
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like I can do it today. I don't feel like I am there, and I'm have to cling to my anchor. And then I have other days where I'm like, yeah, I'm a queen, I am it. And it comes in waves, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
always I'm not
Yeah.
always steady, but I know that my God is. And so I wanted to make sure I edited that.
Great. Because for me, I didn't grow up in church really. I mean, the little experience that I had in church, I hated it actually. But he still found me. Will always be like he actually delivered me from an addiction when I was 18 initially, but that's a whole nother story in itself. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Like I was this addict, this lost soul, and yet he found me. He led me to a place, kind of forced me into it because he knows that I'm stubborn, or I was stubborn back then, and he knows that I needed that like push. But he did it, and he showed up for me, and he's always been like, for me, he's my dad. Like, I never had a dad growing up, so for me he's like my dad,
Yeah.
and so I'm
He's your
very real
father.
with him. He is, and he's like, it's like I had this realness, but he is, like I said, whether you believe in God or the universe or this higher power, you got to know that there's something there for sure,
Yeah.
because that is what you get so tuned into, and the laws of attraction and the laws out there of these things all connect to that. And that's what's a part of being more connected with who you are in yourself, is that you can draw on that power, you can
Yeah.
draw on that intuition and that voice that really will guide you to exactly where you want to go.
And everything's working for you. And it's just that belief. Like, and if you're not believing it right now, like you're probably in a dip. Like you're probably in a low point, because sometimes we have to trust that we'll get to a higher energy level or where we can believe it. Like sometimes we're just not in a place where we're able to be there. But knowing overall for your life that like everything's okay, everything's gonna work for you, and you're being led to incredible things that are there for your growth and for your learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's true. It's so true. And not just that, like one of my main beliefs is that everything has a way of working out. And I see it all the time, because what you believe, you will receive. I mean, it's
yep.
going to happen for you, whether it's good or bad. If you believe in bad stuff, well, brace
You're gonna
yourself,
see
because
it.
bad things are going to happen, because
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you have to train your brain to
Yeah.
see the good things, because whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find. Like if you whatever you're looking for evidence of, that's what's gonna show up in your life. And it's a really fun little game to play with yourself, where you're like, you pick a color and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna pick a color and see if it shows up in my life. And all of a sudden it's everywhere. So if you're looking for, reasons why something is the way it is, you're gonna find evidence for whatever you're trying to prove is true or false. Like you're gonna find whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for reasons to be happy, you're gonna find them. If you're looking for reasons to not be happy, those will show up just as easily.
Like if you're like, 'cause it's almost like it wants to validate.
Yep.
what you're thinking, what you're focusing on. So, it's so funny because that's something I grew up in so much, is hearing that negativity of, oh, there's no such thing as good men, all men are bad, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. And it's like, well, no wonder you're single. Well, no wonder
Yep.
you're single. You're never going to find a good man if you keep believing that they're all bad. And that's
It's
it's so unfair to
yeah.
yourself. It's unfair to the good men out there because they do exist. And
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, I've always believed in that, which is why I finally met mine.
Well,
But
and
it's,
I had like my dad was the greatest person I had ever met. Like my dad is a saint. I love my dad absolutely to death. He's probably, I don't know. I could tell you he's the greatest human alive. He's my favorite person. I love my dad to death. He is incredible. And I met my husband at 18 and a half, and we got married in 7 weeks.
ah,
When I was 18 and a half in college. Like I've met and our 15-year anniversary is coming up really soon. And it's like, I knew that amazing guys existed because I had an amazing dad. And I'm so thankful for him being so great. And so because I had such a great example, I found an amazing husband who, we've had a rough marriage, we've had a rough journey because we've just had a really insane life, but he's an amazing guy, right? And it's you see what you're taught to see.
yeah,
And so that's why, again, like having a life coach is so important because they can
friend.
teach you how to retrain your brain to see the amazing things in life.
Yeah,
So
oh, sorry. I just want to speak to that as far
yeah.
as for anybody out there who didn't like me. I didn't have a good role model. I didn't have a good father. He very much abandoned me and never really cared for me. But I'm evidence that you don't even have to always, it's okay if you even come from that other end where you didn't really always get it. I had a mom who didn't believe in true love, who tried to teach me my whole life. This is one of the reasons why I love Disney movies, because it was one of the things that helps me to believe in love no matter what. But my point is that, see, no matter where you are, what you can come from, good or bad, you can still choose to create a reality for yourself that goes with what
Yeah.
you want, no
Hmm.
matter what. I mean, because I chose to keep believing in true love despite of what I wasn't taught. So,
Well,
I love it because there's two ways right here of showing that prime example of
yeah.
how you can still find the success regardless of your background.
Well, because our brains have this thing called neuroplasticity where they can be changed. And so that's why we retrain our brains to, learn something new. Like we learn new things through all of school. And then we're like, wait a minute, I'm done with school. I don't want to learn anything new. And it's like, wait a minute. No, you keep learning and you keep growing through your whole life. Don't stop learning.
Yeah.
It's so important to keep learning and learn how to believe in love again. Learn how to believe that you are an incredible human. Learn how to be a confident human. You can do that. Learn how to love yourself. That's so important. And you have the ability to do that. It's been scientifically proven that you
Mm-hmm.
can change your brain and learn how to love who you are right now. I don't care if you're overweight. I don't care if you have saggy skin. I have saggy skin. I had weight loss surgery. I have so much saggy skin. I don't care I don't care what you have going on. You
Yeah.
have the capacity to learn how to love yourself as you are, imperfections and all, right now.
Oh my God, yes. I love it. Love it. Yes, it is so true. It really is. And it's so important. I mean, and why not? Why not? Why would you want to choose to suffer and live in negative and live in depression? Come on. I mean, life's so short and now will never come again. This is
Yep.
it. This is all you get. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Are you really going to just settle and just let life pass you by with living with regrets? Or are you going to make
Mhm.
something happen for yourself because you can do it? And there's people like me and Karaleigh here who care about you, who will help you on your way, who will hold your hand through it. So you're not alone. You don't have to do this alone.
Yep. This is your life. You don't owe feeling like crap to anybody else. So tell us how you are balancing. I know it's like the worst word. I hate that word. It's a little bit cliche. It's
It's
totally
okay. It's
cliche.
true though, but it
But
is like true.
how do you do both? How do you be your best you? How do you do all the self-care, which is another very cliche word, but how do you be the best you and be your best mom at the same time?
So it's so funny. I'm actually doing a training on this tomorrow in my group because it's that's what it is. It's about finding that balance, purpose, and self-care amidst the chaos, right? And it's one of those things, like you say, it starts with, recognizing and being more aware of who you are. Because if you really understand your identity and know who you are, then you can truly start figuring out, well, what refuels you? What do you need? Like, what do you enjoy? What would help me to feel good? And then, like I said before, we all are capable, as moms especially, to make stuff happen. Like, we get so much done for our house, for everyone and everything else. So why not us? Why not your stuff? And if it takes you blocking out certain times a week where you literally put in your calendar self-care time, do it and block that time out. And when that time comes, I don't care if it means sitting down with a glass of wine and watching your favorite TV show and doing nothing while the house is a mess. Do it. Um, for me, I am I have a full-time job. I am working to be my own entrepreneur. I am always working on different projects. Like right now I'm creating a digital marketing resale course that's amazing where you literally can learn how to resell this exact already made digital project and make some passive income for yourself while you work to learn about doing it for your own other stuff that you're doing. So it's just that, just anything I can do to help hardworking moms find ways to earn a little something, something while they're trying to pursue their dreams. But I'm always working on different projects. I'm doing the podcast. I mean, I'm so excited about that. That mine's
Yeah.
going to be launching November 6th. I can't wait. Radiant Mom Rising coming soon. So I have so many different things going on top of having, a 2-year-old that's at home full time with me, a 4-year-old who's in pre-K, and a 15-year-old who's in high school and marching band and always got something going on with that. So it is a lot. And I'm very blessed to have a good husband who helps and does what he can, but he also works a full-time job and is pursuing his own entrepreneurship as his own lawn care business. So it's a matter of just taking it one day at a time and doing what you can and taking those breaks when you need it, especially when you notice you're getting overwhelmed, when you're feeling frustrated. I love my bathroom. My bathroom is one of my escape places, for instance. If I have a lot going on, I'll just act like I got to go to the bathroom and I'll sit there and I'll just breathe, or I'll take my recorder out even and just record and get it out. Share how I'm feeling in that moment, let all that venting out. And then I realize that by the end of that, I'm all of a sudden speaking positivity. Like, you know what? I hear you. This is how I feel. But I'm choosing to keep going, to still believe in myself. I'm choosing myself. I'm going to keep moving forward. I got this. And then the next day I know, I'm all pumped up again. I'm like, okay, I got this. And then you go out there.
Brilliant tactic. I love it.
Yes. And then you get things done. And there's just so many ways. There's really so many ways to find this balance. Yoga, for instance, every morning. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, not every single morning, because sometimes things happen and it's not, let's be real here. We're not gonna always get it every single time, but I strive in the mornings or sometime during my day to do a 10-minute yoga. I love it. It's a way to energize me. It's a way to get my body stretched. Sometimes what I'll do is during if I am watching a TV show that I love, I'll just start doing squats. I'll do exercises. There's always just so many different ways you can incorporate things for yourself that are good while enjoying time too.
That was amazing. That was like so much gold, just like jam packed. Like, let me just rapid fire like 20 different ways to like improve your life right there. Bang, boom. So much goodness. I love it. So tell us about your incredible podcast, which I'm so flipping excited for, November 6th. Woo.
Radiant Mom Rising is the name of the podcast. And it's exactly this. It's for helping moms to bring you some inspiration, bring you some value. I have incredible guest speakers like each week. I have more guest speakers than you'll ever get solo episodes from me right now because I've got such incredible, like it's nonstop. They bring such pretty much we're there to share our personal journey. So you understand that you're not alone on your journey. We all have our things, but it also brings some inspiration to you to see how they've turned their lives around, how they were able to show up for themselves and make an amazing life for themselves. Because that's what I want to help encourage and bring to the table. I want you all to, first of all, not feel alone on your journey, but also just really get some tips and strategies and inspiration to show you how you can go about it each and every day. There's always something you can implement, something you can choose, something you can do that can really change the course of your life for the better.
This is amazing. I'm so excited. Tell us where we can find your podcast and all of the things that you are doing.
Yes, and I'll share all my links with you because I know sometimes
Yes.
that's easier, but I am on Spotify and Apple. They're both out there. My trailer's out now, so go ahead and you can subscribe and hope maybe by the time this airs, you might have some episodes available too. So please go check it out. You can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, Mary D Coaching, or Mary Dibble. Either way, like I said, and then I have my group Radiant Mom Tribe on Facebook. It's a free community for us to get together and just keep inspiring each other as moms and be there, support each other along our journeys.
Yay, I'm so excited for all the amazing stuff you're doing. So as we
Thank you.
wrap up, do you have any there's just been so much wisdom in this interview. But do you have
Love it.
anything like final words of wisdom, any sum up words you want to share with us?
I just want to say to anyone listening, you matter. Your life matters. You matter. There is something unique about you that you are meant to give back to this world. So go out there and find it. Stop neglecting yourself. Stop letting life pass you by. Take action. Love yourself. Do whatever you got to do to make the life you want because it's possible. You're capable of it, and it's just waiting for you.
That was so great. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. And I hope you have a marvelous day.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I love Mary. I love that interview. I hope you guys loved it as much as I did. And here are my very favorite takeaways. Number one, we are so capable of showing up for everyone else. So why aren't we showing up for ourselves? Why can't we prioritize and make time for ourselves? That's the number one most important thing to do if you want to show up in the way that not only you deserve, but they deserve. Number two, when you have this mindset that everything is working for me and everything that I experience is going to help me grow, nothing is wrong. Nothing goes wrong. I'm just here to learn and grow. That is a mindset shift that will change everything. Number three, my anchor is my God. Knowing where I'm firmly planted and finding that within myself and not worrying about what the rest of the world says, being able to find that divinity and feeling that spirit just for myself and being able to know that God loves me how I am, exactly how I am, that's where that is most important. That's where the anchor is in the storm of life because sometimes I am fickle. I'm not always steady, but I know that my God is. Number four, everything is okay. Everything is working out for you. You are being led to incredible things that are there for your growth and learning. Number five, no matter where you are or where you came from, good or bad, you can still choose to create a reality for yourself that goes with what you want, no matter what. You can still find success regardless of your background. Number six, there's always something you can implement, something you can choose, something you can do that can really change the course of your life for the better. And number seven, you matter. Your life matters. There is something unique about you that you were meant to give back to this world. So go out there and find it. Stop neglecting yourself. Stop letting life pass you by. Take action. Love yourself. Do whatever you got to do to make the life you want because it's possible. You're capable of it and it's just waiting for you. Oh my gosh, her quotes are so good. There's so much amazingness in this episode. Again, if you just felt it like I did, please share it because I know that there are other people who need to hear this message. You can find out more about Mary and hear more of her amazing wisdom by visiting her website, www.marydibblecoaching.com, and go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Mary Dibble Coaching. And then don't forget that you can sign up for a snippet of sunshine, which is the daily quotes that I just read you, except for they're put in these really cute graphics, and then they come to your inbox, your email inbox every day, so you just get to like ponder like those quotes every morning, and it like brightens your whole day. It's a really beautiful thing. So the link for that is in the show notes. And then lastly, if you are interested in a free breakthrough call to decide whether or not podcasting is right for you, you can schedule that with me and we'll just talk about it. Like, no pressure, no nothing. I just want to meet you guys. I think it's so much fun. That's actually my favorite part of podcasting, is meeting you guys and talking to incredible women. So like, reach out, talk to me. The link for that call to schedule that is in the show notes. And then we can talk. And I would absolutely love that. And I will tell you that if you schedule that by Friday, then you can still take advantage of the Black Friday deal. And if it's after Friday, the price will go up and we won't have that amazing bonus anymore. So that is a thing. And since it is so close to Christmas, I'm going to leave you with a Christmas song from my album Wonder, which, in case you didn't know, I actually have a Christmas album out called Wonder, and it is streaming. It's available to stream on all major platforms. So if you want, you can go stream it and tell me what you think about that. You can also go buy it on Bandcamp, which maybe I should actually have my website link in the show notes. I don't at the moment. I'll go put that in the show notes. My website's karaleigh.com. And then you can go to the page that has my music, and then I think I have my, guys, keeping up a website is a lot of work, but I'm pretty sure I have my Christmas album up on my website right now, so you can go buy the Christmas album if you want to. It's really cool. I made it last year, and it's very much like, if you like calming religious Christmas music, then this will be your jam. If you're looking for like upbeat Santa music, it won't be it. But anyways, I will leave you with a Christmas song, and love you guys so much. Have an amazing day.